Hey, what's up guys, it's JL, welcome to JL Talks, and in this video I just have to ask, how do we go from this to this? See, this is one of the things that's very different from the old Instacart. The new Instacart honestly just sucks. In this video, I'm gonna go over the main differences between the old Instacart and the new Instacart. Stay tuned. Now, how do we get here? One of the main reasons is kind of obvious. Your market is probably oversaturated. Now, I can't talk for every single market because in major cities like Boston, DC, Dallas, maybe your market's booming. Maybe there's always regularly orders that are $30, $40, $50. Those surrounding cities aren't so lucky. For example, that second picture that you saw, that's pretty much the regular in my area. And I remember when those big orders used to be a regular occurrence in this city, or in surrounding cities for that matter. But nowadays, honestly, like, it doesn't happen like that because the market's oversaturated. You see, Instacart doesn't have a filtering process. They do a background check, but there's no filtering process when it comes to quality of the shopper. This isn't like a job or a career or anything like that. So I understand why there's not such a strict like policy on who does it. Because honestly, like, for those who really need money, they'll just go and do it. They'll see a $7 order, they'll be like, all right, cool. And that kind of gives Instacart like a pass. Like, all right, well, someone out there is gonna take that order. Like, why does it matter? Those small orders are like a regular thing now. Number one reason is because it's oversaturated. They're just letting way too many people on. Do I agree with that? Yes and no. I understand both sides, but honestly, this is not something that you should consider like a job or anything like that. That's why I always say, just have as many of those apps as you want or as you can in your area. There's multiple different apps that are similar to Instacart, similar in style or similar in pay. And that brings me to another reason why Instacart is the way it is today. Back then, there used to be a particular pay structure. So let's say area number one is $15 base pay. That's what you would get paid no matter what. And on top of that, you would get paid 40 cents per item. So for every 25 items is an extra $10 on top of the 15. And on top of that, the customer has the ability to tip. And back then, every customer tipped. There was no cheapos on the platform whatsoever. So you could see where it can easily get to $30, $40 for an easy 25, 30 item order. Now, that's the old base model. That's the old pay structure that Instacart used to have. Now, I don't even know what the pay structure is. They're not very transparent about it. What I've noticed is that a lot of the orders start at $7, sometimes $5 base pay. They don't pay per item anymore. They pay mileage now. That's one thing that's different. Back then, they didn't pay mileage, but it was a lot easier back then to determine what orders were worth it or not. And the mileage at that point in time did not really matter as much. But today, they have no problem sending you a 15-mile order that pays $7 and maybe 30, 40 items.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Like, I don't know who in their right mind would take that, but someone will take it. That brings me to another thing that Instacart does that's different now. If there's one of those small orders that are
not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay.
No one's taking the order, Instacart will sneak it into a double batch or a triple batch, and people won't notice unless they really pay attention. So when I open the app, and I don't open it a lot that much anymore, I'll notice those small orders. I'll go through the items, and then I'll check like 20, 30 minutes later, no one's taken that order. And then I see a double batch, same area, and I'm like, wait, hold on. This order was actually that $7 order that no one was taking for like an hour or two. Now it's part of a double batch, and they're paying maybe $20 for a double batch that no one's gonna take. And they're gonna keep tacking on maybe a $2 bonus every like 5 minutes to try to bait someone to take it. And when someone does take it, they'll realize that that order that no one wanted, the customer didn't even tip. And it's a 30 item order, for example, and it's just a crap order. So that's another thing that Instacart does that is way different from before. Now, to bring some positivity into this, there's one thing that Instacart does now that's way better than before, and that's adapt a more free way of taking orders. See, back then, Instacart only allowed you to take whatever order you were given. So the way it would work, you would schedule yourself in this particular zone, and you can only work that area. That area was 20 miles in radius, and you were only given orders in that 20-mile radius. Now, you were timed. So if you're on shift, you were given an order, and if you thought that maybe it was worth it, then you could take it. If you didn't think it was worth it, you'd either decline it or let the timer run out. Now, I don't remember exactly what the rules were back then, but I know if you decline too many orders, it'd go against your acceptance rate, and that was like a big thing back then. So it kind of works how DoorDash works, where they just send you orders and you take it if you want it. If you don't, it goes up to the next person. Now they have a list of orders that you can do, and you can pick and go through each one. It's like a first come, first serve. It's just in the list, and you could take whatever order you think is worth it, but the only thing is one at a time. So that's one thing that Instacart has improved on, I can say that. So that's a plus. Now, another thing I wanted to touch on, another way that Instacart kind of takes advantage of the shoppers and customers for that matter, is they'll pay so little because someone out there is gonna take it. And they kind of depend on the customer to leave a really good tip so that order looks good. So an order that could be like $44, it'll be paying $7 from Instacart, and then the rest of that money is paid from the customer. So the customer is pretty much funding the whole order. That's another big difference from the new Instacart compared to the old one, and that's a pretty big difference. Like, a lot of the orders are not even worth it at all unless the customer tips well. The good thing is that you can see it beforehand, but good orders are very few and far between nowadays. So you kind of have to pick and choose what you do, how you go about it. And then hopefully, if you're in a good area, hopefully you can make good money. Hopefully the orders do pay well and they're not crazy high in mileage. But anyways, that's what I wanted to touch up on this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I have a couple more videos down the pipeline for you guys, so stay tuned. I'll see you on the other side.